All right. Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rechach Kodash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone, which rule well. And I want to give peace, greetings, and salutations to all the Akim that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity, throughout the four corners of the earth. And their brothers that's not wavering in the faith, being diligent in this truth. I say shalom to you brothers, and I say shalom, to the few sisters that believe in all meekness and humbleness. I say shalom. I'm your brother Zakaria from GMS Miami Camp. And Lord willing, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rechach Kodash, Adawan Ratazah, that means Lord willing. So Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel, My lesson today, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rechach Kodash, is going to be basically on protests, man. There's going to be more protests that's happening. All right, anti-government protests. All right, uproars of the people, as the scriptures say. All right, and then I just showed you a video. Salaki, I had to re-download my apps because I factory reset my phone, so I had to re-upload the apps, to make this lesson edifying, man. All right, the scriptures talk about uproars of the people in the last days, and this was a video from Rupley on YouTube. It says Germany police clash with protesters and chaotic CV skeptics march in Berlin. All right. It says Germany. Well, continue. It says police clash with protesters in Berlin city center. Germany has eased most of the restrictions this summer, but some are still in place, such as mandatory mask wearing in public transport and indoor spaces, as according to the Robert Koch Institute. The fourth wave of the pandemic has already begun in the country. The German government said on Sunday, Slovakia, the number of new cases should soar to 100,000 a day in about 2 months, unless many more people get the thing. While those who decide not to may face restrictions. More than 91,000 people have died in Germany with CV19. All right, so the people are protesting against their country. All right, this is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 9. All right, because we're in a time of prophecy, man. We're in a time of events that were spoken of the Bible thousands of years ago coming to pass at a mass scale. All right, in a mass scale, it says 2nd Ezra 9:1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So you got to measure the time, see what time you living in. All right, see what's going on in alternative media news, all right, news outlets, and link it up to the Bible. What's going on and what the Lord said was going to happen in these times. All right, because you're going to understand that it's the time that the Lord is visiting the earth. Verse 3, it says, therefore when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, earthquakes and uproars of the people, and that's an uproar of the people, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So these words were spoken from the beginning, and now they coming to pass now. All right, you see it. It says mass testing underway in Chengdu after 3 local CV cases found. So they're doing the mass testing over there in China. All right. And then I'm going to just roll through the spirit. What is edifying to the elect. All right. It says Italy. Sicilian beach scorched after wildfires hit Cantania. All right. The beach is scorched. All right. And that's how the Lord visited the earth too, man. Isaiah 24, Isaiah 28, so like Isaiah 28, Isaiah 29. Isaiah 29, in verse 6, it says, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with the storm and tempest, all right, those storms, hurricanes, tempests, and the flame of devouring fire. And that's the flame of devouring fire, man. All right. Scorch the beach over there in Italy. And this is what we're supposed to be watching. All right. It says USA Beto O'Rourke, if I'm saying his name right, headlines march to Texas Capitol to denounce GOP election bills.
People, you say now. People. People. Democracy. When I say
all right, so there's division in America. All right. In Esau, Edom, your kingdom cannot stand. All right. Should say a nation divided cannot stand. This book of Mark chapter 3 and verse 23, it says, and he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And Esau is divided against itself. Esau, Edom is the so-called white man who's ruling right now, and their kingdom divided. All right, so their kingdom cannot stand. Verse 25, and if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but have an end. And we are at the end of Esau, Edom, rulership, man. All right. This is the book of the 2nd Esdras 6. Bear with me. 2nd Esdras 6 in verse 9. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth it. All right, so Esau is the so-called white man. He's the end of the world. All right. And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So when Esau, Edom, rulership is over, well, the Lord, he's going to take him out of power. We at the end of Esau, Edom rulership. And the Lord Yahushua, when he comes back, he's going to take him out of power. And Jacob, the new world, which is Jacob, our kingdom is going to be established, man. All right. All right. That's why it was symbolic. Well, I'll read verse 8, 2nd Esdras 2 and 8. It says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac. Well, I'll read verse 7, get to the point. 2nd Esdras 6 and verse 7 says, then answered I said, what shall be the parting asunder of times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? So the end of the first one and the beginning of it that follows. Esau is the end, and the next kingdom is coming as ours. Verse 8, he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were made born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. All right, so Jacob is going to pull down Esau. All right, and then our kingdom is going to be forever. All right, And this is just the signs of Esau, rulership going down, uproars of the people. It says protesters denounce games outside Tokyo tennis finals venue. So they're protesting over there. There's protests in the Holy Land. East Jerusalem. Israeli forces use water cannons against protesters in Shika, Jura. It says scuffles erupt in Shika, if I'm saying it right, Jura neighborhood in East Jerusalem on Saturday as protesters demonstrated alongside activists against the evictions of Palestinian families in the area. Protesters chanted slogans in front of the neighborhood entrance guarded by several police officers who could be seen pushing activists away. A water cannon vehicle arrived later on and fired against the protesters in an attempt to disperse this rally. All right. It says the Israeli High Court of Justice is expected to have a hearing on the evictions cases for 4 Palestinian families on Monday after lower courts have recently upheld claims that pro-settlers Israeli companies Nahatlat Shimon owns the land in Shiat Jerusalem. All right, and let's look up this is another thing: evictions moratorium. All right, and it's about to expire.
Developing tonight, we are just hours away from a deadline that could put 1 million or more Americans out on the streets. The ban on evictions put into place during COVID, it ends tonight. Some lawmakers are asking the White House to extend the moratorium, but officials cited a Supreme Court opinion last month that said congressional action would be needed to extend it past July the 31st. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, more than half of the Houston area's population is renting a home or an apartment. KPRC2's Bill Baraja spoke to a family who says they're going to be put out of their home. He joins us live from downtown Houston with their story. Bill, good evening.
Good evening, and that eviction moratorium will end in just a few hours, and there's still thousands of families that are struggling to pay their rent or find rental assistance. Now they're worried about how much longer they might have a roof over their head. The federal freeze on evictions is set to end. Donna Davis, like many, is worried about what might come next.
Fear, uncertainty. Not just for me, but for my neighbors.
Davis says it's because of the moratorium that she's been able to keep her apartment. She'd struggled to pay her rent at first, but got rental assistance and recently got a job. It's the late fees that are now an issue.
They refuse to waive those. In this situation, it seems like that would be a consideration.
Jay Malone of the Texas Gulf Coast Area Labor Federation says this couldn't have come at a worse time, especially with the rise in COVID cases because of the highly contagious Delta variant.
We have over 700 eviction cases that are scheduled to be heard next week and thousands more that have been delayed by the eviction moratorium. So essentially what we're looking at is a massive crisis.
He expects eviction hearings to increase significantly, but said there is help out there.
The Harris County Houston program is administered by Baker Ripley and Catholic Charities. So you apply, and you can apply to up to 11 months.
Yeah, so it's going down here in Babylon, man. It's going down. People are to get evicted out of their homes. All right. A lot of things happening, man. All right. Let's get one more. Let's go to Epic Economics. You know, I'm on break right now, so I'm just roll through the spirit, man. Lord, when it's edifying, man. This is the time we coming into. Look at this, more evictions. Before I play this, let me get a precept. One of my favorite precepts. Bring it out all the time. Hey, this is the time we're living in. 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1, it says, "This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come." In the last days, we're in the last days.
Tomorrow, the national CDC eviction moratorium expires, and housing advocates are warning that the United States is about to see a massive flood of evictions and a devastating surge of homelessness, as the ban was the only barrier protecting millions of jobless tenants all across the country. The CDC order has been in place since March 2020, first issued in order to prevent people from living in the streets during the peak of the health crisis. But in many cases, due to legal loopholes in the CDC document, many people were not covered by the moratorium and were left without a home anyway. Now, millions of American families who financially struggled throughout the past year are at risk of losing their homes and possibly facing another painful strike in their finances, as they are expected to pay thousands of dollars in back rent. We're expecting a wave of evictions, eviction apocalypse, eviction tsunami, whatever you want to call it, said Amara Lang, a member of the Autonomous Tenants Union. Over the last 18 months, the moratorium allowed tenants to only pay what they were able to pay. But as of Sunday, all renters will be required to cover their full rent. Some workers who lost their jobs or had to stop working due to health issues or to take care of their children and relatives managed to get a temporary reprieve. But in a couple of days, they'll have a massive debt hanging over them. Hey,
Yeah, man. So this is the time we living in, man. All right. That's why you got to seek the Lord while he may be found. Let me get that. I'll end off on that. It's time to seek Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Also, the Israelite foreigners that scattered amongst the nations, that lineage go back to the 12 tribes according to their fathers. You're supposed to seek the Lord. Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 6. It says, seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Because the Lord, all right, he wants you to seek him. I assume there's going to be the famine of the word, man. And you're just going to be out here, man. All right, so you're supposed to seek the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near, while this word is out. Seek the Lord, repent, and come back to the Lord that you may be protected in these perilous times. You know, so Lord, when this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel, you know, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kodash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone with Ruvel. And I want to give peace, greetings, and salutations to all the elect Akim that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity. And Shalom Akim, keep pushing, keep it doing. Shalom.